right, I'm recording again. Is everyone ready?
Yep.
All right. Hello, my name is David.
I'm Julia.
And I'm Allison.
And I'm Nicole, and today we're going to be talking about the Animal Welfare League, which is a nonprofit organization that loves animals. And we're going to talk about what they do for the Trumbull County area.
First off, I would like to talk about the neglect of animals. So animal neglection is a huge concern within our county and the United States. Animal neglection can be defined as abandonment and is a common type of animal cruelty. But these cruelties do much more, including not providing adequate food, water, and shelter, and socialization to these animals. A large number of animal neglection takes place every year. And according to the ASPCA, approximately 6.5 million companion animals enter the U.S. animal shelters nationwide every year. It is also reported that there are at least 1,000 calls a month about animal cruelty and neglection. So, the problem and solution. The problem begins with the people. These people have a lack of concern and responsibility for their own animals. There are even cases in which people have been incarcerated for participating in dog fighting, and they also breed for self-pleasure and money and not really think about what is going to happen with the dogs or the puppies in the end. All of which of these causes affect the animal's ability to function. And a solution can be to become more aware of the problem and educate those around us. We can also take action throughout our neighborhood, and also making calls for lost and homeless animals, as well as signs of any animal abuse. Personally, my mom, she owns a kennel where she grooms and boards dogs, but we always have homeless animals that we take in and try and find homes for, or they end up becoming ours. But all of these solutions could better help the animals.
This problem doesn't affect only the animals, as you might think. It also affects the children and the families involved. The animals specifically that are affected by this would most commonly be dogs, cats, horses, and livestock. But the children are also affected for when a parent makes a decision to remove a family pet from the home or treat it poorly, and this can sometimes lead to a child experiencing their first trauma due to their attachment to this animal. Also, this is a way of teaching children the wrong behaviors, as this is teaching them to remove the pet rather than learning to properly care for it. And when this happens within the families, the children can witness these harsh behaviors, and it can cause resentment or tension or negative emotions between the family members. Many people might not consider livestock to be an abuse group, because typically you would think of dogs and cats, but according to the American Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, the majority of the nearly 10 billion farm animals raised each year in the U.S. suffer in conditions that consumers would not accept if they could see them. And these animals are the ones paying the price. When families are uneducated on the proper animal care and handling, this takes a toll on the children, families, and the animals. Taking action and educating yourself before adoption or purchase is the main solution, which is thankfully provided by organizations such as the AWL.
So, organizations taking action. There are many organizations that work together to fix the growing concern. For example, the ASPCA is one of America's first humane societies to be established and one of the largest in the world. It maintains strong local presence in headquarter area of New York City and hosts animal adoption programs to decrease areas of high supply and to give homes to millions of animals. Another organization is the Animal Defense League of Texas, which was chartered in 1934. This organization provides carefree animals, including neutering, spaying, and food and shelter, safety and medicine too. Most all of these types of organizations are nonprofit organizations that work strictly from volunteers with strict concern. Another is the Animal Welfare League, who also is a nonprofit organization.
In the previous slide, we discussed what the problems are, but now let's discuss the reason why these problems are prevalent. So the top 3 reasons are miseducation, gifted animals, and the lack of resources. The main cause is the lack of education, which is not necessarily anyone's fault. I know it can seem cut and dry in the case of animal neglect, but oftentimes in these families, people are improperly caring for their animals or giving them improper socialization without even realizing it.
And gifting animals is when the recipient is not prepared to take care for the animal correctly. And I see this personally when I work at a pet store and here locally at the Canfield Fair. Sometimes their carnival prizes are small goldfish and lizards and hermit crabs that kids love, but when parents get them, they don't know how to take care of them, and it can lead to their death or usually just poor lifestyles. And then pets in poverty suffer incredibly as their owners lack the resources to feed, clean, and care for their own animals. And an example of miseducation that I see again is we have a picture of a baby iguana, which looks fine and looks easily managed, but as you can see, when it gets to adulthood, it gets very large and needs a large enclosure and very specific needs that most families aren't prepared for and are willing to go to house them.
Our answer to help the animals is the Animal Welfare League. The Animal Welfare League addresses our problems because they take in the animals that are struggling and are injured and rehabilitates them by giving them the care they need for their well-being. The number one thing the shelter focuses on is not euthanizing animals unless the animal is dangerous to others around them. The Animal Welfare League cares and protects for many types of animals. These animals range from horses to goats to even bunnies. The Animal Welfare League has a long history dating back to 1969. The roots of this organization can be traced back to Shirley Silver and Dr. Rufus Sparks, who created this organization to alleviate the streets and the dog pound. Not only have they alleviated the streets and the dog pound, they have set up a steady income for their animals. In 1995, they set up a thrift shop so people could donate things to the shop, and then when people buy them, the money would go directly to the care for the animals. They also, many times a year, have many dinners and fundraisers to also aid the animals as well. They also focus on educating the community, the people, how to take care of their animals, how to love them, because as we stated above, it is a problem that people don't know how. They're very uneducated on how to take care of animals. They have classes such as dog obedience class, and recently in 2013, Dr. Sparks and the Kent State Trumbull Community College decided to have a vet tech program where Dr. Sparks takes in these students underneath his wing and he teaches them how to properly care for animals with medication. Without Dr. Sparks' passion, love, and tenacity for taking care of animals, I probably would not have this cat in my family or household today. Tommy, at a very young age, unfortunately was a stray, and he got hit by a car, fracturing his groin, cervix, hip on his whole left side. In the middle of the night when that happened, Dr. Sparks got a call saying this animal will be coming to shelter, that he needed to take care of him. Luckily, Dr. Sparks, in his mighty skills, was able to reconstruct Tommy's whole area. Tommy is now my cat. I have adopted him, and I've had him for over a year, and I couldn't be happier. These two pictures are just showing some of the things that the Animal Welfare League does. My friend Derek in the bottom left, who they adopted a dog from the Animal Welfare League, they took him back, and they were getting family pictures with him and Santa Claus, which is kind of nice as they're welcoming animals that they once took care of, and the families come back and they reunite. And then on the right is a photo of Trevor, who's in need of a home.
So the things you can donate to the AWL are stated here, and they're not really in need of any food for the animals. They have a pretty good abundance, but some really important things they need are cages to house the ever-growing animals that they have to take care of, and any donations that can be made towards medical expenses, as some of these animals, as she just stated, aren't always in the best health and they need help. But some highlights from the list is Dawn dish soap for cleaning, some collars, leashes, and treats, of course. So here's the contact for AWL, and I hope that in the previous slides that we showed that this is a real problem for animals and that they're doing a good thing for them. And given our American society, animals have always been a very key part, and we all need them, we love them. Thank you for your time.